Hello everyone, here I am again, and this time, oh sorry, my light is too bright. Okay, this time I would like to talk about Myanmar or Burma. And I decided to do in English language because I think there's many people that don't know about this country, because I remember before the military coup, whenever people ask me where are you from, and when I say like Myanmar, Burma, and nobody knows, like what is that, where is Myanmar or Burma, they have no idea. So I decided to talk about Myanmar in English language so it can reach broader people that want to know more about this country. So Myanmar is a Southeast Asia country, and it was ruled by British colonies for so many years. And this was the map during the colonization. And you could see the brown area. The brown areas of all the region where the British control. So British ruled Myanmar from 1824 to 1937. 1824 to 1937, and they separated Burma from the rest of the India Empire in 1937. 10 years before the India became independent, and Myanmar regained its independence in 1948. And here now is the map of Myanmar. It looked like a lizard, but this is Myanmar, and you could see there's like China, India, and Laos, Thailand. Those are the surrounding countries. And Myanmar is a very diverse country. It's made out of 7 major ethnic groups, which are Shan, this big one is Shan, and Kachin, am I right? Kachin and Chin. This is Mon, Yakai is here. And Karen, Kayin, Kaya. So Myanmar is made of major ethnic groups, including Burmese, which used to be the majority in Myanmar, but I don't think nowadays there's like Burmese are majority anymore because all the people are mixed now. Anyway, Myanmar is still Buddhist majority country. But there's many other like religions in Myanmar, like Muslim, Hinduism, Christian, animistic, and some others. So Myanmar is a very beautiful country, but what happening today, it's really ugly and it's really disturbing. Before I talk about what is happening today, I would like to share about like what was happening in Myanmar before the military coup that happened on February 1st, 2021. Myanmar has a very disturbing history when it comes to military. The military junta are notorious. They are really evil, and they did a lot of things that are unspeakable. Like since the British left Burma, there's like civil conflicts break out between the main government, which are most of them are at that time were Burmese, and with the ethnic group, because the ethnic people were asking about federal democracy, but we're not gonna go deep into that. I would just focus on Burmese military, the military junta that control Myanmar or Burma it's confusing, you know. I'm even confused because it used to be Burma, then the military changed the name to Myanmar later on. That's why, like, which one should I call, like Myanmar or Burma? So anyway, I'm used to in Myanmar, so I just say Myanmar. So I will share the timeline about the military ruling. So let me see. Okay, the military rule directly from early 50 years after a 1962 coup and had long seen itself as the guardians of national unity. And it's get an elected quota of 25% of parliamentary seats, and its chief appoints ministers of defense, interior, and border affairs, ensures a key stake in politics. So they pretty much control like Myanmar. They pretty much ensure they always have the power. So in 1958 to 60, military caretaker, what they call at that time, military caretaker government is formed following a split in the ruling party. And in 1962, led by General Ne Win. So this is General Ne Win. He was the notorious general as well. Led by General Ne Win, and after he resigned following mass protests, a new military junta led by General So Mao take power in a brutal crackdown. So this is General So Mao. All of them are notorious. And in 1992, General Tan Shui replaced General So Mao. So this is General Tan Shui. General Tan Shui, he replaced General So Mao, which was the previous one. And he ruled the country until I think 2010. General Min Aung Hlaing announced he's assuming power, alleging fraud in the 2020 general election. So this is before General Min Aung Hlaing, that was Kin Yew, and he was taken down by Ne Win, I think. This is Kin Yew. And now we have Min Aung Hlaing. I think I have his picture. Where is that? Okay, here. That's Min Aung Hlaing. So the first one is Galong Uso. He was the one that assassinated Bucho Aung San, who was Aung San Suu Kyi's father, the founder of the Burmese military, BOA. And the second one is Ne Win, So Mao, Tan Shui. I don't know why they don't have Kin Yew there, but Kin Yew used to have the power for several years. And now we have Min Aung Hlaing. So those are the military leaders, and they are responsible for what's happening in Myanmar, not only right now. Since 1962, these folk are the folks that are responsible for genocide and, you know, rapes, killing, everything that happened in Burma. And let's see, in 1948, Myanmar, then known as Burma, becomes independent from British colonial rule. And in 1990, NLD, National League of Democracy Party, win the general election by landslide, but the military refused to accept the result. In 2010, the first election in 20 years are held, and Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi was freed from house arrest. In 2015, NLD wins the general election again by landslide, and Suu Kyi becomes state councillor, a special creator role in 2016. And recently, they have election in 2020, November 8, and then NLD party won the election again. But the military, they refused to accept the result of the election, and they claiming that there was like fraud or whatever. And on February 1st, 2021, they decide to arrest the NLD party leaders, Aung San Suu Kyi and the president, and then they take over the country ruling power. Since then, a week later, after they took over the country, the people, millions of civilians, they rise up against them. And they start with the protest, which called CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement. And what they do is like teachers or doctor, engineers, whoever, or like bankers, they all like leave their jobs and they march on the street demanding the military junta relieves Aung San Suu Kyi and other leaders that they arrested. And it wasn't that brutal. Like when they start, it seemed like it's not gonna be like brutal. But as someone that grew up in Myanmar under like military, junta ruling for like many years, we all know that what's going to happen next. But what difference right now is like people, especially Generation Z, like the youth, like 19 to like 30 some years old, they are the folk that leading this protest, demonstration, and everything. And they are very smart, and they are very like enthusiasts in try to get back democracy. No matter what, the military have the weapons, so they do everything they could to crack down the uprising. So I'll show you some pictures of what's happening. And millions of people like protest in Myanmar, all the major cities, and even ethnic people from like less developed region, they all participate in protesting, demonstrating, and demanding the military return the country back to the winning party. But after a couple weeks of protest, now everything get out of hand. Like I said, we already know these militaries, the military leaders are notorious, and they will do anything to hold on to the power. So what they did first, they try to like block the internet asset. They try to limit internet asset and everything. And then second, they release all the prisoners, criminals to trouble the civilians. And they started arresting everyone that against them. Not only the NLD party leaders, but also, the celebrities or the youth or, anyone that leading the protest to against them. And you know what they did? They go to people's house like 9-10 p.m. during the night, where they go to people's house like thief, like and then they will like arrest them without without giving them why they arrest them. And they didn't even let the family know where they take them and what are the charge for arresting them. Nothing. They just drag them out of their house. They don't care if the family are like crying back at them not to do that. They don't care. So that's what happened. And then later on, they used the police and also like some people that they pay them with money to trouble the civilians. So they use the police to against protester. First, they use tear gas and rubber bullets, those things. But right now, they're using the real bullets that kill people. So many people die during the protest, and most of them are the youth. Like, let's see some pictures. And this is what happened in Myanmar. It looked like a war zone. And you could see like they set a sniper. So this is not despairing the crowd anymore. It is a crime. They just like targeted protester and just kill them. And here is another picture showing that the soldiers, this is chasing protester and try to kill them. And eventually, so far they have killed more than 60 people in Myanmar. Just yesterday alone, they killed 52 people that were peacefully protesting. Here's another picture. Look at this asshole. I'm so dumb. You could see this is the youth will try to carry another youth that were injured. And here's a father. He was crying. I think his son was killed. And this is what happening. Like they try to kill the protester. Basically, they just try to kill them. So yesterday, I think 52 people died during the protest from like different regions. Yes, 52 of them. 16 in Yangon, which is the center hub of the Myanmar. 4 in Dawei, 5 in Miek, 2 in Bago, 10 in Mandalay, 2 in Molmyai, 1 in Bago, and 1 in Naypyidaw, which is the current capital of Myanmar, and 1 in Taungdwinji, 1 in Taintala, I think, if I read it right, and 2 in Myejina, 6 in Moyua, and 1 in Salin. So 52 just in one day. It was the bloodiest and the deadliest crackdown, and they are using snipers and live ammunition to kill these people. And here are pictures of some people that died protesting the country and died fighting for democracy. They have a picture of them. Where is that? Give me a second. Too many pictures that I save up. So one of the youth, he was just only 16. He was trying to help. Other people who were injured, try to like get them, out of the crowd, and he got shot in the head. He was only 16. And today, it was yesterday actually. Many people got killed. Among them, this young lady. Her name is Jessie, and she's only 19 years old. You could see on her shirt, it say, "Everything will be okay." And she was leading the protest. She tried to warn other protesters to be careful, to sit down, to not run, separated like that, to not get killed. I have video of her doing all of those, leading the protest. It is in Burmese, but you could hear her voice, and the energy in her voice and the power in her voice. So let's see this video. Okay, so he died today, and this is a picture of her dad. This is her dad. You could see the grief on his face. And there is also another picture of him looking, you know, I don't think I have that picture. Let me see. Here is another picture of another injured person. Here's a mother's heartbreaking because this is a picture of her son, all bloody. He got shot on his head. Here's another young man who was killed on the 28th. Here's the picture of the first young lady that got killed. She was only 20 years old. Her name was Mamnya Kai. And these are some of the people that died during the protest. This is Mamnya Kai. She is a teacher and she was pregnant at the time when she got killed. And some other young men here, they all have family. They all have people that love them, and they all have family that depend on them. Here's another young man. He was also killed yesterday. And another one. And here's another one that got injured on his arm. And you could see that they used the airplane to drop tear gas. This is just this is just like a war. They just against the civilian. And I show you another picture during the it's a video clip during the protest. Despite the military crackdown, these people, they don't give up. They don't. Because if they give up, they know they have to live under the military junta, and there's no freedom. I remember when I was in my country and we don't have internet access. We don't have like news outside of the country. We have only like, I think 1 or 2 TV channel, which are like the military TV channel, and everything is limited. Everything was limited. And, there was no freedom. If you want to visit another city, you have to write a you have to get recommendation letters or whatever from the military, and they always spy on you. And if they're suspicious of something, they just go drag out someone and just kill them without evidence or nothing. You just disappear like that. So right now what they try to do, they arrested many civilians, like thousands of them already, thousands of them, and they still doing it. They try to crack down this uprising. They use every evil tactic. They release the notorious prisoners. They pay some gains to rape women and to go into people's houses and try to trouble them. And they arrested anyone that against them, and they use the police to turn onto the people who has no weapons, have nothing. And they would say that they try to despair the protests, but no, that wasn't the case anymore. Right now, they just basically killing people. They killing people. You can see that. I show you another video. It's really disturbing. So if you could watch it, it's okay, but it's really disturbing. So I must warn you. Okay, this videos, whenever I watch this clip, I have to hold on to my heart because I feel like it's gonna jump out. So as you could see, they were beaten and hit these three men, and they were volunteers who helped the injured people. So the police or whatever security force, they just drag them out of their vehicle and start beating them and kicking them. And I could hear the voice say that, please don't do it, please don't do it. But they just keep doing this. This must stop, because Myanmar people, they are just civilian. They don't have weapons. They don't have anything to, protect themselves. I don't know who's, who's gonna help them. And I feel so heartbreaking because no country wanna involve into other countries internal affair. But you look at this thing, it's someone have to stop them. Someone have to. Or when I say someone, it's international community, because how many people have to die? So then international community will step up. Sorry, I wasn't prepared, to do live or anything. So it's my first time. But I want to like share what is going on in Myanmar, what the people are experiencing. Because we're sharing like our language, our Burmese, and we knew it, and it's reached to our community. But like I feel I need to share in English, so I never like speak publicly in English, but I'm trying. So these are what happening in the city, and also like a remote area where the ethnic people live, they also attacking people, and those are ongoing. It was never stopped, like 73 years already. I show you some pictures of it. Look at this picture. Two elderly women sleeping on the ground, no blanket, no roof, no floor. They try to keep themselves warm with the fire that they build. Do you know why? Because the military, they go to these people place, and they force them to leave their villages, run into the forest, because they have to. If they hear that the military coming, they have to run. Otherwise, they will kill them. They don't care. So they run into the forest, try to, to save their life. And there's another picture. Look at this child. No shoes. Look at the clothes. They were running all their whole life. And I knew many people who came from refugee camp who had the same experience. And this is traumatizing to them, because what's happening like some 30 years ago is happening today. Here's another picture. Just families, children, mothers, newborn babies try to camp in the forest because the houses, the villages were burned down by the military, the same military that killing these people, the same military that, killing the people inside Myanmar. And this is like the remote area where the ethnic people live. They did the same thing. Here's a picture of in Karenni State or Kaya State, what we call. You see protesters, they try to cover up the CCTV to make sure that the military or security force could like follow them or know their location. Otherwise, they send snipers. They set us snipers, to kill them. This young lady was killed by a sniper as well. He got shot right here from above. It's targeted. It was targeted. So I just want to share what's really going on and what people are really experiencing in Myanmar, because they all need help. They all need international community to hear their voice. And you might ask, don't we have BBC or VOA News? Yes, we do, but they try to polish the news so it doesn't like sounds really bad. But when things are bad, you have to sound bad. You can't just like pretend like it's okay. It's, like, no. Look at this mother. Look at this mother. I can't imagine how she feel at the moment. So this is all I want to share for tonight. And tomorrow night, I will also share news from Burma in English. And I hope I it's go smoother than this because this is my first time doing live. So I apologize if I'm stutter. So have a good night, everyone. And I'm live on Daily Korean News YouTube channel and also other YouTube channel called Nomumu and my Facebook page. So if you guys are watching any channel, please share this so more people will see and will hear what is going on in our country. Have a good night. Bye.